Let's move on to the qualifying results itself then. So as we already mentioned, the sort of bottom five, Magnussen was very close to getting into Q2. But otherwise, kind of the similar suspects going out in Q1. As for Q2, both McLarens, pretty disappointing result for both of them, seeing as they eventually got penalties as well.
Yeah, it was a bad weekend for
both
them.
McLarens and both Ferraris out in Q2. Then the real surprises obviously came later on. The conditions started drying up. We saw people not sure whether they should be on wets, whether they should be on intermediates. And the end result was that we saw Lance Stroll take pole position at the Turkish Grand Prix, which is
that's
amazing.
Incredible stuff. I mean, fair play to him. We've, over the last couple of podcasts, we've turned around and said since COVID, since his little episode of his podium, he hasn't really shown up. Since he's been confirmed, he hasn't really put the performance in. But actually, credit where credit's due, he put it on pole position by, apart from Max Verstappen, by seconds. He was seconds faster than the rest of the grid, which is an incredible achievement. And I think fair play to him. He really shone through that qualifying session, kept it on the track. That Mercedes, that Racing Point was just, planted. It was exactly what the Mercedes should have been. But Racing Point did a lot better job of warming up those tyres.
Verstappen managing to get that time on full wets is pretty impressive as well. And
Verstappen was very
did a good
disappointed,
job,
wasn't he? Albon did a very good job putting it in P4 behind Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen absolutely gutted that he didn't get pole position. He had been fastest in FP1, 2, 3, Q1 and Q2, and I think he boxed at the end of a good lap. He was a good couple of seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He boxed for a fresh set of tyres, couldn't get the heat in them, therefore didn't have the grip and didn't improve his time by as much as he should have done or as much as he wanted to. So actually, I think he felt like that was his pole position to lose, and he certainly did lose it, but Lance Stroll capitalised on it. Fantastic result. Well done, the Racing Point boys.
Yeah, and when was the last time we saw the Mercedes outside the top five? I mean, they just didn't
not
feature,
this year,
did they?
Not this year, not last year. I can't even remember the last time they weren't on the front row. Or, like you said, the top five. It's incredible stuff.
Yeah, both nowhere to be found in qualifying at the end. So that led us to a front row of Lance Stroll and Max Verstappen, which made for a very exciting start to the race itself.
Also, a shout out to Alfa Romeo for getting both their drivers into the top 10.
Yeah.
Again, brilliant stuff. Just played the strategy, played it well, kept it cool and under control. Other drivers didn't. So really, really impressive stuff this qualifying session in tricky conditions. And those conditions would obviously transfer over to the race the next day. So